Hello, YouTube. It's me. I like to say hi to my grandkids. How you doing? I like to say hi to my son, my daughter-in-law, my family in the East Coast, West Coast, and my Facebook family. Also, my peeps in Japan. What's up? I had some good news. Well, it's Saturday. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. No, I didn't Black Friday. I make it a point not to buy anything on Black Friday. I won't even buy a stamp. I won't buy a stick of gum, nothing. I refuse to be part of it. The Thanksgiving was fun. I got to see a bunch of people that that I hardly ever see. You know, cousins of cousins of friends of cousins that you never see during the that you never see. You only see them once a year. You only see them at Thanksgiving. Here we go with the strip tease of the century again. Um, this is another one of the things I really like that's getting too big. So I thought I'd wear it on the video today. I had fun, pigged out, had a couple of glasses of wine, had a good time, saw my friend, got to see Grandpa. Um, Grandpa Cohen, he is the grandfather of my godsons. My my grandparents are gone. I don't have any grandparents, but my grandmother actually did not pass away until the 7th, oh 07 actually. And she was 91, 92, 93-ish, kind of in there. She was one of those women didn't want to tell you her age. Who cares? You know, I'm 59. I don't care. As long as I don't look it, I don't care. And feel it, I don't care. Um, so that means I got what about 40 more 40 more years to go. I'm gonna kick 100. I'm gonna hit 100. But like I actually talked to my family. I talked to my mom. She sounded fine. You know, she still wants to come out. She's like, I keep looking because it snowed a little bit this morning, and it's getting kind of cloudy and weird again. You know how it gets when it snows. So I'm hoping it'll snow some more because I really like snow. Um, Yesterday I didn't do anything. I just kind of recuperated and, munched on leftovers and kind of walked around and, I didn't even, I don't think I even stretched. I didn't exercise. I didn't do anything. Yesterday was just one of those days where you just can't get it together. I did some work and then I went online just to check my email and that sort of thing. And I actually had and I went on Facebook to check my messages because I found that a lot of people will use that to contact me, and it's so weird because when I don't they know I don't look at it sometimes for a couple of days, but people still do it. But my son pretty much knows that whenever we're in transition or he's in transition, anything, that I pretty much will check it every day, like when they're traveling, that kind of thing, or I'm traveling, that kind of thing. And I got some good news. It's all right to say now because it's already been in the Japanese Times that he's going to a new team. So evidently he got all the necessary I think what he wrote was that he was going to be this was Friday, I think I looked. And it's yeah, 'cause I know Thanksgiving Day I didn't turn the computer on. Um he he said that he was made a free agent as of noon the next day. That's what he said, which would have been 8 o'clock that night here, and that he was signing with a new team. So I'm very happy for him and very happy for his family, and very, very happy because he is a good boy. And I finally found out some of the things that happened. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I'm definitely going to later on talk about some of the things that happened, which got him in the position he ended up being in. But he's a free agent. It was a nice write up in the paper in the Japanese Times. Um, and he said he don't know how they found out, but trust me, when you're a celebrity or blah 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 or whatever, they have their ways of finding out, all kinds of information. That's why I try to keep my nose clean. Speaking of which, I don't know why it's so shiny. I turned that light off on top of my head. I hardly ever start videos over. Once I start, I don't stop it and start it again. But I had to this time because that light was shining right on my head, make it look like I don't know a Klingon, some of this big bright light in the middle of my head. Um, what I was going to talk about today was the portrayal of men in romance novels. A lot of times men are portrayed, because I remember my writing teacher said about my male character in Autumn in the 1800 book, that he's too perfect, except for the secret. And I thought, yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly. He's perfect, except, he's lied about every single thing, including who he is. And that's another thing, the reveal. The reveal in the first book in Autumn is sort of the climax of the book. It goes, it's kind of hinted at. You kind of almost you kind of know that something's up. You get little bits and pieces of, so you can start. Like I said, romance readers are some of the most intelligent people on the planet, and they catch things little subliminal. They'll catch things, and so I deliberately wrote it like that. And the reveal is at the end of the almost at the end of the book, because it kind of is the catalyst of the end of the book, because they go to England. They go to New Orleans first, and then they go to England. So it's imperative. In the second book, um the reveal is earlier, because first of all, you know soon as she saw him in uniform, duh, duh, But and that's another reason, because he wouldn't have been able to be. It was during the war, and I don't know how much you guys know about the military, but you can be shot as a spy wearing if you're not wearing your uniform during war. And basically, that's how she finds out who he is. So it's according to where you want to put your reveal. Um, like I said, mine are in two different places for a reason, because it wouldn't have made the second book wouldn't have made any sense. He couldn't have kept the secret from her all the way to the end. Wherein in my first book, he could keep the secret, to actually who he really was until the end of the book, just about the end of the book. And I'm still not satisfied with the way she reacted. She takes it very calmly. My lead character, takes it very calmly, which leads me to believe, because I told you how crazy characters are, that she probably guessed about something. Some things she didn't know, of course, but she actually had guessed about, probably who he is and whatever. Like I said, she can read and write relatively well. Um, So what I was going to talk about today in the first one here is the portrayal of men in romance novels, women in romance novels, and sometimes the lack of consequences. I think that it's some of the same reason, the appeal is some of the same reasons that in porn they don't use condoms, because they want you to get in porn, they want you to be excited. And if a guy stops and put a condom on, that's gonna, ruin your excitement, because you're gonna go, oh yeah, that's right. So he might get a disease or something like that. But I swear, what little of it I've seen, every time I sit there and go, that girl could just be getting, something really bad right then. She could get an STD or right that minute. She doesn't know this guy. He's doing it raw, but okay, it's disgusting. I'm not talking about that. But so it'll have men being very promiscuous, women being very promiscuous with no consequences. The women never get pregnant. The men are never alcoholics. Nobody ever gets a STD, which is absolutely not. But like I said, you don't want to ruin it with that kind of thing. But what I did, you don't want to take the train of thought away. But what I did was, I made, well, my lead character, she'd only been with two men, so she didn't have anything. Also, by her being an herbist, she would know how to, treat herself, if anything like that. If she ever had any reason to think she would have anything. She certainly would know how to cleanse her body. And also, I had my male character. He did a lot of traveling to Algiers. He actually had a harem when he was there, and he traveled all around the world. And I had him kind of go through a cleansing, and the doctor in the city where the story actually takes place, the city outside the farm, was giving women and doses of his patients doses of sulfur and mercury. And so that made a lot of sense to me because sulfur is fights bacteria, fights infections, and mercury was a long known cure for VD back in that day, to keep from getting it, and or getting it back in that day. So also to the um the women never get pregnant. I'm like, what? And I also kind of brought in one of my characters, I also kind of brought in the idea of abortions. Not my character. Not my lead character. She never had one. But because I think I said before, she has this concoction that she made that kind of, it's basically a primitive spermicide is what she makes and what she uses every day. And the trying to think. Oh, and back in this day, basically, quinine. You took quinine to try to you know, for like a primitive, abortion. Also too, they would use a stick, anything to, up the, I think I talked about that before, up the cervix to, pop the whole sac down, and the whole thing would just come down. Um, and there were other methods, that they used. And usually a woman went to a midwife, because the midwife would be the one who would know how to, how to do these things. And it was a whole lot more of that than people let on. But I didn't put a lot of that in there because I don't want to be like controversial. I mean, I am, as far as like the race relationships and some of the stuff I have to say is concerned. But like I said before, these videos are for my grandkids and the class of 2114 that study my book. And so I'm not trying to be controversial. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to use any buzzwords to, that's why I'm very careful when I put my little tags down, that I don't want to, I'm not going to put abortion, I'm not going to put stuff like that, I'm not going to do that, because I think that once a few people see it, I'm sure Malibu Dollface had 50 hits, had had 20, had 30 videos and 50 hits at one time. I'm sure everybody that's a YouTube phenomenon at this, at this particular time had you have to start somewhere. And actually, I saw a video about him the other day, and he was saying that, that how much time it had taken him to actually get his fan base and all that stuff together. So I really believe that. And cheating and using buzzwords and stuff like that, it's not that's not good. So I was going to talk about, oh, and I'll give you an example of good heavens, I'll give you an example. I need an eye check, I think. um I'll give you an example of I think I was talking about before the let me mark this off. I was talking about the some of the short stories that I wrote, and one of them that I'm thinking is going to be the prequel to Autumn, that I might write. If they make me write part two of Autumn, then I will definitely write the prequel. Or what I was thinking was maybe jumping back and forth. That might work, because I'm going to do that in book two, because I have to write the stuff that goes on in Paris. I have to write the stuff that goes on in Riga, where the male lead is, and what goes on in one of the camps. So that's going to be one of those. And I also used that same vehicle in Autumn, because I had my character, my main character, my female lead character, do one her life is going along one way, and then these other two people are meeting. Like I said before, it's all gonna crash in one place, and so I had to write three different things, but have them all, fall into place. Right now, I'm pretty much looking at book 13, but like I said, they're not books as far as chapters are concerned. It was just places to stop, basically, places to stop and begin again. Um, and it's only 16 of them. So I'm thinking 14, 15, and 16 should be pretty clean, but we'll see. We'll see. And then I'm stopping. Then I'm going to stop because I can't keep, it's time to move ahead and work on the other book. Um, I'm trying to see what I was talking about as far as the prequel and consequences is concerned. My Robin Hood quote unquote tale is a bit different than most because mine starts with the gang dismantling, get dismantling, coming out of the forest, dismantling. And what I have my Robin Hood, because my Robin Hood is not a yeoman. My Robin Hood is a nobleman. Is Huntington. He's gonna um, take over from his father, and earldom. His father. What happens is my Robin Hood is his father is dying, and he goes back, and they make amends, because his father disowned him because he was a outlaw, and and that's how I got him out, because I thought, a noble person is not just going to let their line die like that. They wouldn't do that. I thought that doesn't make a lot of sense. I had my one of my characters, my Alan Adale, decide to start. He's a musician, to start a like a school for traveling musicians, and open a tavern. Things he's wanted to do. I had my Little John and my much go. I'm not gonna tell you everything. Go do something else. Go get involved in their village, and like in like as a village elder and like businessmen. They go off to do that. Um, Lady Marian, of course, I knew how to get her out of the forest, and that was kind of an easy thing to do. And there's only one person. I made my Will Gamble the last vet. He just not gonna leave. He's not gonna leave the forest. He's not gonna go out and be a lord. He's not gonna go out and do this. He's not gonna do anything. He wants to be still an outlaw. And he's getting older, and he's getting older, and he's sick. You'll have to read to find out all the stuff that's going on. He's and he's sick, and he just will not give it up. They're all going out and doing different things, and he doesn't want to give it up. So he's kind of like the last, I don't know, throw down. He's not gonna leave the forest. They're gonna take him out on a stretcher. So he says. But um my um Robert, my Robert, quote unquote, Robin in the Hood, um, and his arch enemy, Sir Guy, they, instead of fighting each other with swords and stuff, they fight each other politically. Put it that way. They um they draw a line in the sand, and they use their money and their armies and their political influence and those kind of things to fight, instead of being out in the woods, with swords and stuff. I started to say guns, no guns, with swords and um crossbows and all that stuff. So that's why I think mine is very interesting, because it starts from a different point of view. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm like at 1931. I don't want to really get into anything else. I'm gonna let this one go, and then I'm going to start on a second one. So, see you guys later.